Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Tonight, we venture into the shadows of the Zanzibar archipelago, to the islands of Pemba and Unguja, where a creature of the night has spread terror for decades. This isn't your typical cryptid, lurking in the deep woods or remote mountains. This entity invades the most sacred of spaces, your own home, your own bed. It's a shapeshifter, a tormentor, and a product of mass hysteria that has gripped an entire population. We're talking about Popobawa. The name itself in Swahili translates to batwing, a chilling descriptor for a creature said to be a one-eyed, bat-winged humanoid with a penchant for nocturnal assaults. But Popobawa is more than just a boogeyman. It represents a fascinating and terrifying intersection of folklore, psychology, and social anxiety. The stories that emerged from these islands in the latter half of the 20th century are not just campfire tales. They are accounts of widespread panic, of neighbors turning on neighbors, and of a collective terror so potent it brought communities to a standstill. How could an entire island, and then another, be paralyzed by fear of a creature that, by all rational accounts, shouldn't exist? Tonight, we peel back the layers of this incredible story. We'll examine the historical accounts of its sudden appearance and the waves of hysteria that followed. We'll dive into the scientific theories that attempt to explain how thousands of people could experience something so terrifyingly real. And we will ask the ultimate question: is Popobawa a genuine supernatural entity, or is it a powerful manifestation of the human mind, a monster born from fear itself? Turn off the lights and lock your doors. You're going hunting for Popobawa. The legend of Popobawa is a relatively modern one, which makes its powerful grip on the collective psyche even more fascinating. Unlike ancient myths with origins lost to time, the first major wave of Popobawa hysteria can be traced back to 1965 on the island of Pemba, a part of the Zanzibar archipelago in Tanzania. This was a period of immense political upheaval following the Zanzibar Revolution of 1964, which overthrew the Sultan and led to the merging of Zanzibar with Tanganyika to form Tanzania. It is within this crucible of social and political tension that the creature is said to have first emerged. The story goes that the first president of Zanzibar, Abeid Karum, had released a jinn, a spirit in Islamic mythology, to secure his power, but he lost control of it. This jinn then became the malevolent entity known as Popobawa. The classic description of Popobawa is terrifyingly specific: a dwarf-like creature with a single, cyclopean eye, small, pointed ears, and most famously, large bat-like wings. But it is not its appearance that is the source of the deepest terror. It is its actions. Popobawa is said to be a nocturnal assailant, primarily targeting men in their beds. The attacks are often of a sexual nature, a detail that adds a profound layer of violation and shame to the experience, making it difficult for victims to speak out. The only way to ward off the creature, according to the legend, is to publicly acknowledge the attack. If a victim stays silent out of shame, Popobawa will return to torment them again and again. Hysteria reached a fever pitch in 1995 on Pemba Island, an event that brought the Popobawa legend to international attention. It began with a few scattered reports, but quickly snowballed into a full-blown panic. Thousands of people refused to sleep in their homes, opting instead to gather outside, huddled around fires, believing there was safety in numbers. Men would sleep outside their families' homes to act as guards. The panic was so intense that it spilled over to Unguja, the main island of Zanzibar, and even reached Dar es Salaam on the Tanzanian mainland. During these waves of terror, accusations flew and skepticism was met with suspicion. Deny the existence of Popobawa was to invite its wrath, making the belief a self-perpetuating cycle of fear. The accounts from this period are not just folktales. They are documented reports of a society under siege from a creature born of their deepest anxieties. From a scientific and skeptical standpoint, the idea of a physical, one-eyed, bat-winged creature assaulting people is, of course, highly improbable. Yet the experiences of thousands of people cannot be simply dismissed. The terror was real, the panic was real, and the social impact was undeniable. So, if not a literal monster, what was happening in Zanzibar? The most widely accepted explanation among psychologists and sociologists is the phenomenon of mass psychogenic illness, or mass hysteria. This is a condition where a group of people experiences similar physical or psychological symptoms in the absence of an identifiable physical cause. Symptoms are real, but they are triggered by psychological factors like stress, anxiety, and the power of suggestion, rather than a pathogen or a physical monster. A key element that lends credence to the mass hysteria theory is the strong link between Popobawa outbreaks and periods of social and political stress. The first major wave in the 1970s, and the most significant one in 1995, both coincided with tense election cycles and political instability in Zanzibar. It is theorized that the collective anxiety of the population manifested in the form of a shared cultural boogeyman. Popobawa became a vessel for all the societal fears that people couldn't openly express, fears about political violence, economic uncertainty, and social change. The monster's reported actions, particularly the targeting of men and the element of sexual assault, can be interpreted as symbolic expressions of powerlessness and social emasculation in the face of overwhelming political forces. Another crucial piece of the puzzle is the phenomenon of sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis is a state in which an individual is temporarily unable to move or speak while falling asleep or waking up. It is often accompanied by vivid and terrifying hallucinations, a feeling of pressure on the chest, and the sense of a malevolent presence in the room. Many of the classic descriptions of a Popobawa attack, being held down in